Welcome to my $240 apartment here in Seoul. So I said this is my $224 apartment, or one room I guess, but technically, well, in Korean won it's like about 350,000 Korean won for just the rent, and then there's something called like 관리비, which is like the maintenance fee, that's 110,000 won, so I guess in total monthly it's like 460,000 won, and then I have to pay for gas, so depending on how much I use that throughout the year or throughout the month, I have to pay an additional X amount, which last month was about like 20,000, so about 480,000 per month. But if I said 350,000 won, maybe some of you would get clickbaited. So yeah, that's why I kind of put that as the thumbnail and also the title. But yeah, technically, I guess it's 480,000, 460,000, but rent actually is just 350,000. Welcome back to my channel, everyone. Hopefully I'm still on that regular upload schedule. So I just wanted to make this video to kind of show you a little bit about my apartment. It's kind of small. It's actually really small. It's only about 5평, which here is like a different metric system than how everywhere else does it in the world, I think. Here's like the formula for how they calculate 평. The square meters will be like around here. Yeah, I get like about 5평 or that amount of square meters for about 350,000 won per month. I signed a 5 million won deposit. And so this is just kind of how the rental system here is. Basically, you could have 전세 or 월세 or like 반전세, but I feel like that 반전세 is just 월세. 전세 is like the rental system where you put a huge deposit down. It can be upwards of like 200,000 US dollars or like 1 billion won, 2 billion won, 10 billion won. You can kind of see it here. But it could be as little as maybe, I don't know, 10 million or something. I guess pro of using 전세 is that you put a huge deposit down and basically don't pay any monthly fee. And so a lot of other videos online, they kind of tell that. I don't want to go too much into detail of the specifics of 전세 versus 월세, but basically 전세 is big deposit, almost to no monthly fee. 월세 is just basically maybe you put a small deposit down and pay like a monthly fee, or you just pay a kind of a bigger monthly fee. And so I did 월세, so I had to pay about 5 million deposit, 350,000 monthly fee, in addition to the maintenance fee of the building, and then also the gas fee. This is a quick rundown of the details of my contract. Not going too much into specifics, but the place is kind of nice. I guess it's pretty small, but when I moved in, they had a refrigerator, they had washer, so they have like an induction stove. It came not with this table, but it came with a desk on the right here, and then also closet here, and so, or drawers. And I guess I had to buy like a couple other things, like my bed, the second desk I use, and then some other stuff. But yeah, pretty cozy place. I guess the one thing that I would say that I don't really like too much about my place is that within the bathroom, it's kind of small, which is kind of the bad point of it, but it's cheap, so I can't really complain, is that there is no sink in my bathroom. There's just kind of the head, so if I were to wash my hands, I'd have to go to my kitchen sink. That's like the only thing I guess I would complain about this place. But I'm also at the very top floor of my building, so that's why it's also cheaper. And so people who are looking for apartments in Korea, I guess the way I did it was I went to a 부동산, or like real estate agent place. I went to a few places. To be honest, like I didn't really care too much of where I was living. I just wanted to find a place that was relatively close to where I most often go to. Well, I guess you don't really know yet too much, but as I've been kind of mentioning, my Korean isn't that good, so it's probably even worse than most Korean Americans. But yeah, so going to a real estate agent office, I had to speak in Korean and communicate with them, and so it was a little bit tough, to be honest, because there are scams here in Korea, and so you kind of have to be wary of that. And so I kind of wanted to also make this video not just to show you about my apartment place, but also to kind of tell you a little about the rental system here and how to find a place. And so you should go to a 부동산, or real estate agent. Tell them like your qualifications, like, oh, I want to put this much amount of money down for my deposit. This is kind of the range of my monthly rent. They'll kind of have their own system to look through their own catalog and then find some options for you. And so they'll take you around to a few places, and I actually went to see like maybe 10 places over the span of a week or two. You can move in as quickly as a month, or sorry, as long as a month. and as quick as maybe even 2 days, which is what I did. I basically found this place, signed it within 2 days, and moved in right away. It's really quick here. Like, you could move in literally the next day. But people always mention here, I think in Korea, about the scamming because, as you know, there's like a deposit. The deposit is kind of big relative to the rest of the world, I think. Even 월세, it's like a lot of money for a deposit because you don't see that for a year. There are even deposits that are as huge as as I was saying earlier, like 1 billion won for 전세. And so there's something known as like 전세 사기, which is like 전세 scam. One thing I would say to avoid that is, even for my case, which had a deposit, even though it's relatively smaller than the others, I was still a little bit cautious and wary. And so I had some friends that if I didn't have them, to be honest, I think I'd be a little bit more scared about looking for a place, because one thing that people do here, they take your deposit and then run away with it. And so this is very common in Korea, or was very common like 5 years ago. And so my friends, when I moved here, told me to be careful of that. And so I had some friends here, Korean people, who helped me quite a bit. When you go to a place, especially me, when I talk to someone in Korean, it's like very broken Korean. And so I don't understand 50% of what they're saying. And so I have to kind of guess and determine based on my own judgment, like what they're saying is somewhat true. And then also the paperwork they're showing me is fine. So when you sign in a contract here in Korea, like after you find a place, look around, go to a few real estate offices. When you sign a lease here, a contract, one thing you should look at is whether or not the person you're renting from or giving money to for the deposit has like an existing debt on the building. Because one of my friends, or a few of my friends, told me that, and they even looked up, because in Korea you can search, I think, buildings and building owners, how much debt that person actually owns, to make it like a calculated judgment based on that information. Is if the person has some existing debt on the building, if it's high enough, and if it's been over a long period of time or a short period of time, depending on that, you should be careful about signing a contract, especially if you're putting down kind of a big deposit. And so what my friends told me when I signed this place is that the person who owned this building, that person had taken a loan out from the building maybe 5-6 years ago. And because of that information, it's probably safe considering how much money has been paid off already for the debt. Basically, you're just checking to see if the person who owns the building is paying off their loan that they took out to pay for I guess the apartment building. Double check that. Their website's online, and so not everything is 100% foolproof. So use your best judgment to determine or ascertain like if this is kind of the contract you want to gamble on. And so not everything's 100% foolproof, as I just said, but this is a way to kind of mitigate any potential issues in the future. And even GPT and like any other AI, they don't really talk about that, to be honest. I think it might be some insider information here. And so I want to relay that to you guys because it's very helpful to me when I moved here. But one thing too is that when you sign the contract, they should have a paper of the debt that they owe as well. And one thing that people were telling me when I was signing the contract is to make sure that the name of the person who owns the building, their ID card, the contract name, the name of the bank account you're sending it to, and like the name of the paper that has information about the loan that they took from the bank, that all matches. And make sure that the face matches the person. I don't know why they were telling me this, but it seems like in Korea there's a lot of scamming like this. And so name checking, face checking, even the person who, when I signed my contract, they're like, the picture on their ID card looked a little bit different from their picture in person. She even before I said anything, she said, "Oh, that's me, just my hair color is a little bit different." And so this must be a common issue in Korea, one that I never even thought of. So I tried filming this video earlier, like along the Han River, but I don't know, my camera, it has some like autofocus issues, I think, especially when there's a lot of moving objects and I don't really do manual focus. So I'm filming here, not outside, because my face was going in and out of focus in that last video. Thank you, everyone. Hopefully this was useful information for you. And yeah, there are apartments that can be really affordable here in Seoul. And so it just takes some time to find it. It took me like a week to find this place. Not the best place, but also not the worst place. There are pros and cons, and I feel like the pros really outweigh the cons for here. Thank you all for watching. See you in the next video. Bye. Oh, and stay tuned for the next video next week. I'll be outside more. I'll be able to show you more of Seoul, but stay tuned for that. And see you all next week. Bye.